in the heart of the desert, where the sun beats down on ancient sands, there lived a hunter named Rami. He was a good man, strong and true, with a heart as big as the sky above him. One day, while walking through the market, he saw a beautiful woman. She was unlike anyone he'd ever seen, with eyes that sparkled like stars and skin as smooth as sand. She smiled at him, and he felt his heart skip a beat. But then he saw her face, pale and sad, and heard her voice, soft and lonely. She was a princess cursed by an evil sorcerer to live as an ordinary woman until a man chose to love her for who she was, not for what she could give him. Rami knew he had to help her, but to break the curse, he had to win her heart. So he took her to the one place he knew would make her happy, the desert. They walked 4 days, and along the way, Rami showed her the beauty of the dunes, the stars, the silence of the night. Slowly, her sadness faded, replaced by wonder and then love. When the sorcerer saw them together, he knew his spell was broken. With a heavy heart, he lifted the curse. The princess was free. The two beautiful women heard the noise and looked up. Their eyes met Rami's, and they beckoned with fingers as delicate as hummingbirds. Rami hesitated, torn between admiration and fear. He couldn't tear his gaze from their enchanting beauty. The women rose, revealing dresses spun from moonlight and mist. Their hair cascaded down their backs like waterfalls, and their voices echoed with celestial music. They invited him to join them by the lake, offering dates and pomegranates plucked from unseen gardens. But Rami, though tempted by their ethereal charm, couldn't forget the sheik's warning about the third girl. He politely declined their offer and started to leave. As he walked away, he heard the celestial music fading into sorrowful laments. The beautiful women began to weep, their tears transforming into pearls that fell into the lake. The sound of their sorrow stirred something deep within Rami. Despite the sheik's warning, he couldn't bring himself to ignore their pain. He turned back and asked why they wept. The moment Rami uttered these words, the music ceased and the women fell silent. One of them, her eyes filled with sadness, poured out their tale. She told him how they were 3 sisters, each more beautiful than the last. But the youngest, their beauty was unmatched. People traveled from distant lands just to catch a glimpse of her, and kings sent messengers asking for her hand in marriage. However, the youngest sister didn't desire any of this. All she wanted was to live a simple life, tending to her garden and picking flowers. The other 2 sisters, consumed by envy, devised a wicked plan. Every night, while their youngest sister slept, they would take her to the lake and make her bathe in its waters. The water, they claimed, had magical properties that would enhance her beauty 100-fold, making her irresistible to anyone who beheld her. But in reality, they planned to use this opportunity to steal the youngest sister's beauty, luring men to their hidden lake with promises of unimaginable allure. Rami listened intently, feeling a growing anger towards the deceitful sisters. When he learned that the beautiful women were, in fact, evil genies, he felt a surge of determination. He wouldn't allow them to harm the innocent girl. As he made a plan, the eldest genie noticed the cunning glint in his eyes and quickly interrupted, warning him that if he revealed their secret, they'd drain his life force and trap his soul in the lake forever. Then, with a flick of their wrists, they vanished along with their magic. When Rami returned to the village, he found the sheik and told him what had happened. The sheik, wise and understanding, smiled knowingly. He explained that the genies had tested Rami and he had passed. Now, because of his kindness and courage, the youngest genie would be his to possess. Overjoyed, Rami rushed to the forest, eager to claim his prize. But upon reaching the lake, he saw the 3 genies waiting for him. With a playful smile, they told him he had passed their test, and the youngest sister was his to keep. However, Rami was deeply moved by their enchanting music and saddened by their sorrowful tale. And now, as they stood before him, he couldn't help but fall in love with their ethereal beauty. He chose to keep all 3 sisters, promising to love and cherish them. This choice surprised everyone, especially the sheik, who had never seen anything like it. As the sun set, casting long shadows across the land, the 9 genies and Rami returned to the village. Their arrival caused quite a stir among the villagers, who had never seen anything like the genies before. But when Rami shared his story, the villagers understood the extraordinary choice he had made, and they lived together in the village. And they had sons and daughters, and they were happy, and that's the end of the story! Once upon a time, deep in a forest, there lived 3 sisters. Every day they would bathe in a lake hidden among the trees. One day, as they were bathing, they noticed a man hiding behind a bush, trying to peek at them. "A man! We have seen him!" one of them shouted. And in a flash, all 3 were dressed and out of the water. Before the man could flee, one of them called, "Oh, Hunter!" He hesitated. Then, curious, stepped closer. "It is rare for a human to reach this place," the eldest said, "and rarer still to see one of us alive. What brings you here?" "An old sheik sent me," Rami replied. "He said I would find a good wife in this forest. The 3 of us have never been married," the middle girl said, "nor seen by human eyes. You may ask one of us to be your wife, and she will leave with you right now." "Oh, really? That sounds like a dream. But I would like to ask you another question first. Who among you will guard my home when I am away?" "I can turn it into a palace in a single day," the eldest said proudly. "I will sew for you a robe woven from the wind," the middle said. "I will wait for you, no matter how long you are gone," the youngest said, "wrapping my heart in the blanket of patience to keep you warm." Rami thought for a moment. "What about if I die? Which one of you will bear my son and raise him?" "I will send him to a sorcerer," the eldest said, "to make him a king." "I will make him a poet," the middle said, "so your name will live forever," the youngest said. "I will feed him with the fruit of your labor, and tell him his father never reached his hand to anyone but God." Rami fell to his knees before the youngest. "You are my wife," he said, "for you are like me." The eldest grew furious. "How dare you!" she shouted, and vanished like smoke. The middle one turned into a bird and flew away. The youngest smiled. "You chose me, poor in words," she said, "because you know the true meaning of wealth, and that is why, my dear listeners, true love conquers all." For Rami, the youngest sister's love was the greatest treasure he could have ever hoped for, even more precious than any palace or poem. Her love, born out of patience and faith, was the real wealth he had found in the forest. Now, dear listeners, it is time for you to show your love and support. Please like this video, share it with your friends and family, and don't forget to subscribe to our channel so you never miss any of our enchanting stories. Until next time, may the joy of love fill your hearts and the magic of our stories keep you enchanted. Thank you for listening. Once upon a time, in a village nestled between hills and a river, lived a poor woodcutter. Every evening he returned home from the forest, his heart heavy with the day's labor, only to find solace in the gentle smile of his wife. They lived simply, planting fields, raising livestock, waiting for him at the door each evening. Their love story wasn't one of grand gestures, but of quiet understanding, shared dreams, and the comfort of companionship. One evening, as the sky blazed with the colors of sunset, the woodcutter reached home. Weariness etched on his face, but as he pushed open the door, he found his wife wasn't in their humble abode. Instead, lying on the bed was a baby swaddled in a blanket. And as he lifted the blanket, his eyes met the gaze of a beautiful young girl. She looked at him with innocence, and beside her lay a note. The woodcutter's heart pounded as he read the note. It spoke of a love that had bloomed despite the boundaries of age, of a bond that had deepened over time, and of a child born of their union. The woodcutter felt a surge of emotion, a mix of surprise, joy, and responsibility. He looked down at the girl and then at the sleeping babe, his wife's face, a blend of love and hope. Poverty deepened, but patience bound them together. Despite the challenges, they faced him standing by his wife, united in their love, and ready to embrace whatever the future held. As the days turned into weeks and weeks into months, the girl grew under their care. She learned to walk, talk, and laugh, filling their small home with echoes of joy. The woodcutter, though poor, was a man of strong principles. He taught her the value of honesty, hard work, and kindness. The girl, in turn, brought a new lease on life to their home. Her laughter chased away the blues of poverty, and her presence made their small cottage feel like a palace. Then one night, after a particularly long day, the girl cried out, her cries echoing through the small house. The woodcutter and his wife rushed to her side, their hearts pounding with worry. The pain was intense, and the girl soon gave birth. The baby's cries filled the room, their son, and fate named him before he was born, the Heir of Light. In the quiet of the following morning, the girl sat beside the cradle, her gaze fixed on the sleeping infant. She turned to the woodcutter, and with a voice filled with love and reverence, she said, "This is your son, the Heir of Light. It is time I revealed the truth. I am not who I seem to be. I am a girl stolen from my family, imprisoned in this forest for 20 years by the magic of Moran, the evil sorcerer. Men who enter the forests are deceived by illusions, enticed by shadows, and lured into deadly traps. Many a heart has been ensnared, and many a soul has perished. Only those whose hearts resist desire remain free, and he chose you." The woodcutter's heart pounded as he listened, his eyes wide with disbelief. The girl continued, "You were the only one, not fooled by the shadows. You saw through the illusions and chose to honor your commitment to remain faithful to me. That's why I was sent to you, Rami, for you alone could break Moran's magic and strip him of his power." Tears welled up in her eyes as she handed him a map. "I have waited 20 years for you. Now, with our child safe, I must go. Follow this map. Far from here lies Moran's house, empty, for he is now powerless. Beneath that house is a treasure beyond measure. It is yours. You have freed me." The following morning, Rami set out on his journey, his heart heavy with the task before him. As the girl had described, he found the house. Inside was an old chest overflowing with gold, noble stones, and magical tools that seemed untouched by time. He returned to the village, now rich, where he bought a great house. He moved in with his wife and son, built a farm, and opened shops, becoming the wealthiest man in the city. Yet, despite his wealth, he never forgot the girl who had been his anchor in the storm. He kept the cave where they first met as a shelter for travelers. Upon its door was written, "Here lived Rami, the man whom shadows could not deceive, who freed the prisoner and won love and wealth without losing himself." Some men chase riches all their lives, only to find they've lost themselves in the pursuit. Rami, a man who started with nothing but the stars for company, showed that the greatest treasure is in gold buried under the earth. But the loyalty of a waiting heart, the honesty of a soul that doesn't take what isn't earned, and the bravery to choose love over illusion. Perhaps if we listen closely, the winds of our lives will whisper the same truth. That a man's real riches are the love that stands by him and the truth he stands by.